Welcome back. A Milford man is behind bars tonight following a shooting in Rehoboth that left a man injured. Delaware State Police say they were called to the parking lot of Big Chill's Surf Cantina around 1 a.m. Friday for reports of a shooting. A 27-year-old man suffering a gunshot wound to the leg, and during the investigation it revealed that the victim had gotten into an altercation with someone in the parking lot. Now police say the shooter was identified as 28-year-old Jonathan Blackwell of Milford. Detectives obtained a warrant for his arrest, and attempts to locate him are still ongoing. Anyone with information on his whereabouts are urged to call police. Meanwhile, a Lewis man is facing charges following a home improvement fraud investigation. A 62-year-old Lewis resident reported that in February he had entered a contract with 45-year-old Jeremy Bowen, who conducts business under Delmarva Landscape Solutions and Shoreline Escapes. The resident reportedly paid Bowen over $16,000, but police say he did not hear back and that he never did the work. Now, Bowen was arrested by police earlier today. Lewis police are urging all residents to thoroughly check on any contractors hired and never give them large down payments. The Delaware Supreme Court unanimously voting to keep early and absentee voting rights today. Earlier this year, a Superior Court judge issuing a ruling striking down early voting and the state's 14-year permanent absentee law. Today, the court found that Senator Gerald Hocker and co-plaintiff Michael Minella lacked standing to bring the case in a 5-0 ruling. Now, thanks to the ruling, Delawareans will retain the right to early voting and permanent absentee voting in all primary, general, and special elections. In the last election, 56,000 Delawareans used early voting. And a fire that broke out at a Denton Walmart yesterday is under investigation. Just after 2:45 p.m., the Caroline County Sheriff's Office responded to the store after an individual reportedly intentionally set a pack of clothes on fire. Now, the fire was immediately extinguished and no one was hurt. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Maryland State Fire Marshal's office at 410-822-7609. And now let's send things over to Chief Meteorologist Rich Wardzik for a look at his forecast.
All right, Brandon, we got a lot to get to here for the weekend. First of all, today was fantastic. This ended up being probably one of the better days that we've had in some time and may even have going forward, although I'll show you early next week. We might be able to slide in again a few decent days before we get back to the heat and humidity, but a hotter weekend is a guarantee. It's going to be hotter, more humid tomorrow. Really going to feel it on Sunday. Chance for severe thunderstorms. I'll show you on Sunday where I expect that to be a possibility. And we'll talk a little more about the 4th of July coming up. But hey, if you hit the town tomorrow for Salisbury Pride, downtown should be a great time with the festivities here, weather-wise, starting at 3 with the parade and moving forward through 5, 6, and 7 o'clock. There is a chance of an isolated downpour, but it looks like that it's a small chance at that. If it was happening to be earlier in the day. So you have plans to go out here for Pride, it's going to be great for tomorrow. All right, so we have Tropical Depression 2, which was actually just upgraded like a couple minutes ago, to Tropical Storm Beryl, and this is likely to become the first hurricane of the season. As you're taking a look at the track here, that's going to take this into next week just south of Cuba and a Category 1 here, encountering some winds that may cut the storm up a little bit, and it remains to be seen what's going to happen once it makes its way toward the Gulf, but no threat to us here on the East Coast at this point, but something we'll certainly keep an eye on. All right, 78, that's it, 78 degrees. We didn't even get back to 80 today, let alone the 90s we've been talking about lately. This is nice. This is below what we were forecasting. This was thanks to a northeast wind and some clouds around earlier too, but keeping us a little cooler today. Shore Auto Sales Skycam, that's where we look at downtown Georgetown live on a decent evening here, but I'm stepping outside, just stepped outside the studio about a half hour ago, and already start to feel a little bit of that humidity coming back as our winds now are turning more out of the south and southeast here. Salisbury at 66, most places in the upper 60s, low 70s at most. Current temperatures showing kind of that last of the cooler air hanging out here and also the last of the drier air. You see where those dark greens are, the higher humidity with the dew point values that are approaching and will surpass 70 again. And that will lead to a feels like temperature tomorrow well above 90 in the afternoon. But even more important to point out, on Sunday, feels like temperatures will pass 100 for a good few hours in the afternoon. Thunderstorm fuel will be there for Saturday, the chance for an isolated storm, but look at this blossom here, those bright colors indicating where we could have the chance for some severe weather as we go into Sunday. And speaking of which, I'll show you here on Futurecast, after a couple clouds and showers in the morning, some sun, a very hot and humid day. And watch this here, showers and storms exploding north to south across Delmarva. And we could be talking about some real problems with heavy rain and the potential for damaging winds. Back to tonight, more clouds late. Tomorrow, we've got early clouds, humid and isolated shower, thunderstorm. And Brandon, we're going to talk about the Brazier's Carpet Care dog walking forecast in the 7-day coming back, but looking pretty good for tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Rich. Stick around. A big announcement from the Washington Nationals. Their top prospect is on his way to the nation's capital. That's coming up next on DSI.
Chase Shepard, pitch for Parkside Rams. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.